DC's main man might be making his way to the big screen. Hey, what's up? It's Phil Diaz from Zaid Comics, writer of comics like Magic Cop and The Lost Pages, and huge fan of Lobo, the main man, the last Zarnian. And big news coming out of one of the new heads of the DCU, new co-head of the DCU, James Gunn, happens to tease Lobo. Now, let me paint a picture for you before we get into this article. About 2.5 weeks ago, I was in Orlando on a family trip. I met up with my buddy Cecil. You guys know him. He wears a mask. He likes his liquor. We were at a little place called Moe's Southwest Grill talking about this James Gunn stuff. Now, I didn't know about this. He told me James Gunn is now leading the charge for the DC Cinematic Universe. And he knows how much of a Lobo fan I am. You can just look at my background. James Gunn has a record of doing films like Guardians of the Galaxy. He's seemingly big into space and making these superheroes comical. And perfect for Lobo. As he was telling me this, I'm like, yeah, of course he's going to want to do Lobo. So the big news was he's going to be heading the new Superman films, and Cecil told me, wouldn't that be perfect? You could totally see him bringing Lobo versus the big man in red and blue. Look at that Simon Bisley cover. Horrible comic, but great cover. Hail to the Biz. Seeing that on the big screen, if you take Superman and clash him up against the main man, you got some comedy, you got some high action, and you get that galactic cosmic sense from Lobo into the DCU. But let's get into this article. Cecil called it. I agreed with him. And now here we are. What is this? 3 weeks later. And with the launch of the new site Mastodon, which seemingly is just, as this says, a carbon copy of Twitter, he put out his first, what would you call this? His first his first tweet on Mastodon. He says, glad to be here, posts a beautiful image of the main man smoking a cigar. I mean, I wouldn't say there's any better director to do a Lobo film, or at least introduce him, because see, I don't think they're blasting off firsthand with a Lobo film. They'll probably introduce him, like I said, in Superman. If you look at this character, he is what Deadpool is for the Marvel universe, for the Marvel cinematic universe. Deadpool was a huge success for Fox when they were doing the films, and I had for years have thought, I'm like, why isn't anyone capitalizing? Why isn't DCU capitalizing on Lobo, making this the badass character? They're very similar. They both break the fourth wall. I think Lobo is a little bit more serious. Deadpool is a little more, toilet humor and slapstick. But let's see. Lobo recently appeared on the Sci-Fi Krypton show, which was trash, season 2. That I think that canned the series for them. And also, I remember this. Michael Bay was in talks and rumored to be directing a Lobo film in 2018. There's been many fan speculation of who would play Lobo. A lot of people wanted originally The Rock to play him. A lot of people, Jason Momoa. And now, what's interesting is that Jason Momoa recently teased that he is involved with a DC Dream project. Now you're thinking, Jason Momoa, he's already Aquaman. He's been Aquaman in what, 2-3 films already? How is this going to work? Well, you remember a guy named Chris Evans when he was the Human Torch, and then Captain America. Chris Evans has been in so many comic-related property movies in the past 15 years. It's insane. So I think Jason Momoa could do it. He's probably the best in shape actor that could pull this off, especially because he's notable. You're going to get the pull for the ladies love him. You know, the guys want to be him. He's jacked. And so you don't have to waste any CGI money on this character. Another thing, James Gunn, of course, did Guardians of the Galaxy. Like I said, Dave Bautista, he did all of his stuff with practical effects. You didn't need an oversized CGI suit for this character, and he's used to working with bulky guys like Dave Bautista in his roles. So I think this would be perfect. Also, like this says, the tweet recently teased, or it wasn't a tweet, seemingly it was on Instagram. Let's see, I got this article right here. Jason Momoa talks about in this article how he just got news about his dream project. He's super excited about it. It's something he never thought would happen. And the only real idea that this puts in our head is a Lobo thing. He says, some of the greatest news of my life just happened. I can't say anything about it. Fuck yes. I can't wait to share this with you, but they won't let me share anything. I want you to remember this date, November 6th. Mwah! You know who you are. So hopefully this is something good. I think his role of Aquaman was very, it was weird because he's not the blonde-haired guy that you'd think Aquaman would be. I think he made Aquaman cooler than a lot of people thought he was going to be, unless you look at something like Jeff Johns' New 52 Aquaman, who was a total badass. That series was pretty cool. But he gave the guy his own Jason Momoa flair. He's like a surfer guy. Now, I think he would be a better role with Lobo, because Lobo doesn't seem like a kind of, you don't need high acting chops to play this character. He could be silly, but also a badass at the same time. Like, so badass that it's comical at times. And he just doesn't give an F. And that's what that character needs to be. He's got kind of the darkness inside of him, psychopathic, just wants to rip things to shred, but he always has that loyalty to his word. Now, for years, people have asked me, who do I think would be the best Lobo? And I know this is going to sound weird now after I show you this clip, but for years, I have said Mickey Rourke should play Lobo. Mickey Rourke in his prime, I would say not even in his prime. You could have had him do it when he was doing Iron Man, when Mickey Rourke was jacked. He was in Iron Man 2. Here's a little, what do you call this? A thumbnail that I made years ago. There's Lobo, Mickey Rourke Lobo. Zade Comics. Guys, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Hit that like button. We do videos. We do streams. I'm going to be getting back into this video stuff. And if you like Lobo, you better stay to this channel. But let's hear from my boy, my buddy, the Biz, Simon Bisley, the man that practically created Lobo. He gave him the biker look, gave him that Bisley attitude. Let's hear what he has to say about Lobo. Take it away, Biz.
It's just like
You don't think we're seeing a Lobo movie?
this seems to be a Lobo movie. I look forward to the big royalty check.
Right. Who do you think would be a good Lobo?
Good Lobo. Actually, I always thought, you'll be surprised if you won't probably disagree with me, but Mickey Rourke.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if he would. He's too old now. I'm not putting his age down, but I think Mickey Rourke would have been. It's got that kind of like, got that aggression, but also got that kind of like, believe it or not, like a little bit of sensitivity to him as well, and that humour and that tragic and the darkness as well. He's got all that. I don't think he's just an out and out like, hey, I'm Lobo. We talks like a biker. And he's like that. I think he would probably. I would have thought he'd probably talk like Shere Khan from Jungle Book.
Right.
And he's almost like spout off Shakespeare. I think he'd have to be quite educated, quite well-educated character, actually, and very sinister and a complete psychopath. Well, no, I don't think he's so much psychopathic as there's no rules in space, is there?
No.
You don't.
So there you go. I mean, coming from the man who created himself, Mickey Rourke as Lobo. I mean, that would be dream. Right now, he's old, past his prime. And he's obviously not bulky enough like he used to be. But that would be my choice. Who would you guys want to play Lobo? Are you excited about this new transition into James Gunn heading things over there? We saw that Superman, Henry Cavill's coming back. He left his Witcher show to do some Superman stuff. So the way I would see it, I say introduce Lobo into Superman. Give the audience a taste. Introduce new, younger audiences to this crazy character. Bring that 90s action back. And then do a spin-off movie. Let's see who this character is. Reach into that Keith Giffen, Alan Grant, Bisley stuff. So much material here. So much beautiful art showing his backstory. A character that just got away with so much in the DC universe in the 90s. Blood and guts, killing Santa Claus. I mean, oh, look at that. The Biz at his best. Shooting elves in the face. I mean, you could have so much fun with this character. It could be a cash cow for DC. I'm someone that liked Black Adam and the way that was going. So I'm going to be excited about this as long as they don't tank it and turn it into something that the character was never supposed to be. DC, you have this awesome character that harkens back to the 90s comics that we all love, that influenced so many artists in the late 90s. I hope you guys do it right. And if you guys love those kinds of comics, if you love Lobo, that character and that action, you need to check out the stuff we're doing at Zaid Comics. We're making books that harken back to that 90s with originality, with little twists. And if you love Lobo, you're gonna love this character. Crimstone, this is the sign up on Indiegogo. We do crowdfunding. Take a look at this. The link is going to be in the description below. Look at this amazing art. A big hulking badass monster who, with a mental twist, he is an imaginary friend of a babe, a bodybuilder babe who kicks ass as a superhero. She gets super strength when he's around. His name's Crimstone, and there's a little bit of Lobo in my Crimstone. If you love these kinds of comics, you love this beautiful art, you need to check it out. And we will see you guys next time with another stream or a video. Have a great day and leave a comment. If you're excited about this news, let me know.
I want you to know it's over.
Well, bye.